We back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sauna IE. I'm your host, XO. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the show. Welcome to Sauna IE. Man, can I ask y'all something? If this is your first time listening, it's going to be a great episode today because we're going to be discussing mental health stigma and the stigma around mental health. But I bet you're wondering, what is Sauna IE? I seen the cover art. It said brain health and financial health. Well, Sun.ie is a personal development platform for millennials who need help with their personal development. Every episode, I drop knowledge when it comes to our brain health and knowledge when it comes to our financial health. I drop tips, research, tricks, knowledge, statistics. And with it being Mental Health Awareness Month, I decided to let me see what I can learn more about mental health stigma. And that's what this episode is going to be about, just discussing mental health stigma and the stigma around mental health. I know nowadays it's more, I want to say glorified because everybody talks about it nowadays, but really understanding what is mental health and why do some people still keep it caged in and don't like to reveal what they're going through. But first, let me kick off the show with some quotes of the day. And my first quote is, give yourself credit for the days you made it through because you thought you wouldn't. And that's deep because I feel like we all have those days where we feel like, is this day ever going to end? Can I get on to tomorrow? And it's understanding like, yo, we have to go through these hard days, bad days, so they can teach us what we're supposed to learn. Every day is not going to be a good day overall, but there will be some good in every day. But you have to give yourself credit for those days you thought you couldn't make it through, you wouldn't make it through, you felt like giving up, but you made it. And that may be today for you. And understanding like, yo, it was a long day. It's been a long Monday or whatever day of the week it is, whenever you listen to this episode. And understanding like everybody goes through hard times. We all go through trials and tribulations that really shape us and help us. Like if you want to reflect back for a quick second, think about one of your bad days and understand like, what did I learn within that day? Was it really a bad day, or what is just a few bad moments throughout that day? And understanding like we have to give ourselves credit for making it through those tough days, those rough days, those days where we just don't want to do nothing at all. But once again, that quote is, give yourself credit for the days you made it when you thought you couldn't. And my second quote is, your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Forgive yourself and focus on the future. I feel like we all hold on to the past. We hold on to something from the past, whether it's a past regret, past relationship, a past job, just something from the past we just hold on to, and we feel like, damn, we think about it every day. We always reminisce about our past and think about the past, the bad things in our past, instead of like, yo, the past happened. It happened for a reason. I had to go through those phases. I had to go through those breakups. I had to go through that job, losing that job, losing people in my life, losing friends in order for me to grow, because I can't keep being caged in, letting the past control me and dictate how my future goes. We have to understand like the past is what it is. It's there for us to learn from, not for us to hold on to. So forgive yourself, let the past go, and just focus on the present moment right now in your future. Because the more you let the past hold on to you, the more you keep putting yourself in, I want to say solitary confinement. But understanding like, yo, I have a future to focus on. My past is what it is. I can't change it. I have to let it go and I have to grow from it. But once again, that quote is, your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Forgive yourself and focus on the future. And our today's topic, today's segment, we're going to be discussing mental health stigma. Did you know, according to the World Health Organization, 2/3 of people living with mental health conditions don't seek professional support, likely due to the stigma around mental health? I bet you're wondering, what's the stigma surrounding mental health? Great question. I'm glad you asked. Mental health stigma is a negative assumption, attitudes, and beliefs about individuals who experience mental health conditions. For example, believing that someone's mental health challenge is their fault. If you have somebody like that around you, or you're that person, you can't let the stigma around mental health delay you or deter you from seeking the help that you need. We all need some help in some facet or forms. I believe we all need therapy in this life because we all witness or go through some type of trauma that we hold on to, whether it's childhood trauma, abusive trauma, relationship trauma, whatever it may be that we hold on to, that sometimes we need somebody to vent to. We need that venting vessel in our lives so we can understand what we're going through and how to let it go instead of holding it on like it's poison to us, because it's slowly poisoning us and really helping hindering us from our growth and really challenging us to stay in that moment. But understanding like mental health is a challenge. We all go through challenges in life, and understanding that if you need help with your mental health, reach out and seek out the right people to help you get through what you're going through instead of just holding it in, thinking like, oh, I don't want to tell nobody what I'm going through. Oh, I don't want nobody feeling what I'm feeling. Or I don't want to understand what I'm feeling. It's like, no, we have to understand how our mental health is, because your brain is your key to life. You got to think right, act right, and be right, and have those understand the conditions that you go through, and understanding like everybody goes through something mentally. Not a lot of people want to voice what they're feeling. A lot of people like to keep it in, which is understandable, because when it comes to your mental health, you don't want to seem like, oh, I look dumb, or I'm an idiot, or I don't understand what I'm going through. It's like, nah, you seeking help is showing that strength, putting yourself in that vulnerable position to understand like, yo, maybe I do need therapy, or maybe I do need to check myself into a mental health facility to see what I'm going through and understand what I'm going through, because maybe you had a very traumatic childhood, or you had some type of trauma in your life, or even a loss in your life. We have to understand that fuck what the stigma is. When it comes to your mental health, that's a main priority. And I bet you're wondering why it matters, why the stigma matters. Stigma causes people to feel ashamed or for something that is out of their control. Worse, stigma prevents people from seeking the help that they need. So when it comes to the whole stigma around mental health, you have to let it go, and then understanding like everybody goes through something, whether it's they see it, reveal it or not. We all go through something mentally, and we have to understand why we're going through that and really seeking out the help instead of looking at ourselves being judged by the world, being judged by our friends, being judged by our family. It's like, no, I want to understand myself on a deeper level. So I may need to get therapy. I may need to get professional help. I may need to seek and reach out to the people that can help me understand what I'm going through. And I bet you're wondering, so how does the stigma occur? Stigma happens on multiple levels: from society, that's the public stigma; from the government or organizations, that's institutional stigma; from others, that's interpersonal stigma; as well as ourselves, an internalized stigma, where we let the outside world dictate how we feel or how we should move within our lives, instead of understanding like, I need to understand myself. That's what it really comes down to when it comes to mental health. If you're dealing with anything mentally, that I need to understand myself more, instead of letting the public, letting the people around me dictate what I should do when it comes to my personal health, my personal life. When stigma gets goes unchecked, it leads to discrimination by employers, by society, and by government, which results in less opportunities and less access to care. So we have to check the stigma and check when it comes to our mental health. We can't let the stigma dictate what we do. And here's some ways how we can erase that mental health stigma. First one would be talk openly about mental health within your family, your friends, your coworkers, even on social media. If there's anything that you're dealing with, I know we don't like putting our business out there on social media, but start that conversation, open that discussion up where you're talking about maybe something you're going through, or maybe something you experienced with somebody else within your family, and it can help somebody else out, because a lot of people like to suffer in silence when we can have these open discussions about mental health, about physical health, about health in general. And you never know what that discussion may lead to. You may be helping out somebody else who's been suffering and not want to talk about it. But once they see you open up about it, they're like, okay, I know it's safe and it's comfortable to open up and talk about this. And maybe you're like, oh, I don't know where to open up and talk about it at. Social media was a big thing, where you can go to Facebook groups, Reddit, TikTok, looking these groups within these social media apps, and you'll find the people that's already talking about it, where you can talk about it openly, even with your family and friends, even once a week. Have those mental health meetings with your family. Like, even if y'all don't do it, start doing it. Where you're like, all right, every Friday or every Monday, we're gonna talk about how your mental health is doing, how you're doing mentally. What do you need help with? Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything you want to talk about? And really being that venting vessel for somebody else and having that open discussion about what they're going through. Even the kids that you have around you, the kids in your life, see what they're going through mentally. Have the discussion with them. Like, how's your week been? Is anything been bothering you? Anything been going on in your mind? How you been feeling? Have you been up? Have you been down? And just really checking on people and have those conversations, because believe once you open up and have those conversations with the people, you'll be surprised about what you learn about yourself and what other people are going through. Number two would be educate yourself and others. Respond to misperceptions or negative comments by sharing facts and experiences. Educate yourself. There's this podcast. I'm grateful for y'all tuning in. Um, reading different books, and really understanding how your mental health is and how mental health dictates and plays a role in people's lives and society. Educating yourself, looking at YouTube videos, different TikToks, whatever it may be. Read books and understand, like, what is mental health and how is mental health shaped in different societies, different cultures. Number three would be conscious of language. It's a big one. Be conscious of language. And that's really understanding, like, remind people that words matter. We all hear the old saying when we was growing up, sticks and stones, you break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's not true, because words are sometimes like freaking poison. Depends on who they're coming from, especially if you're constantly, consistently hearing them. Maybe you're speaking to yourself, because I know we all like to put ourselves down or criticize ourselves, but the words really matter, because the more you feed into those words or let those words feed you, the more it hurts you and is detrimental to your mental health. So understanding that you have to be conscious of the language you're speaking to yourself, talking to yourself, what people are talking to themselves, and how you're talking to people too, because words hurt to some people. So understanding that. Number four is encourage equality between physical and mental health conditions. Drawing comparisons to how you would treat someone who has cancer or diabetes. Put that equality in it, because mental health is a big thing, from schizophrenia to bipolar to Alzheimer's. The list goes on. But be aware and treat them as the same, because everything starts with your mental, and then it trickles down to your body. So treat everything and encourage equality when it comes to mental health and physical health, because everybody nowadays, cancer will be a big thing, diabetes will be a big thing. When it comes to their physical health issues, people will talk about that more versus their mental health. Number five, show compassion for those with mental health conditions. That's deep for many reasons. I'll just quick side story. The reason why I started Sanai, the reason why I started the podcast, the reason why I dove into mental health, I lost my dearest cousin to suicide, and I didn't know what she was going through when mentally, and I didn't even know about mental health until that happened. And there's days I'll be asking myself or questioning myself, like, damn, why didn't I catch it? Why didn't I see the signs? And it's like, you won't see the signs because some people are good at hiding the signs, or some people don't want to reveal what they're going through. But that's why I took upon myself to really dive into mental health and understand the mental health better, and see the signs when it comes to my peers, when it comes to my family, when it comes to anybody around me, so I know to ask the questions as well as be there for them, especially in their time of need. But number five, show compassion for those with mental health conditions. Check on your people. Check on everybody around you. Check on your best friends, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, your grandpa, your grandma, anybody that you can send a text to, call. Check on these people. You might be like, oh, they don't check on me. It's not about that. You have to show compassion and really check on these people and see how they're doing. Because you'll be damned if you don't check on them and then you find out something happened to them and you like, dang, I didn't know. Yeah, because you didn't take that time to check on them. So check on your people. Anybody that you see, anybody that you talk to, check on them. See, like, how you doing today? How's your mental health? there anything that's been bothering you? Is there any reoccurring thoughts? How have you been talking to yourself lately? And really just showing the question, showing the compassion for other people, have that empathy, because it'll help us out in the long run too, because we'll learn more about ourselves when we talk to people and show that compassion for other people and what they're going through. Number 6, be honest about treatment. Normalize mental health treatment. If you're going through anything, reach out to me or reach out to a professional and see how you what type of help you may need to get over your mental health challenge. We have to normalize it. Like I said, I think everybody should do therapy to understand what they're going through so they don't have to go through it alone. So they have that venting vessel, that therapist, that psychiatrist, whatever it may be, helping them out and helping them understand themselves on a deeper level. But those were the 6 tips when it comes to understanding and how to erase that mental health stigma. I hope this episode helped you out when it comes to mental health and understanding that we have to have more conversations around mental health, surrounding mental health, instead of keeping it to ourselves. Share the show, subscribe, review. Let me know what you thought of this episode. I love y'all feedback. Did I do good? Did I educate you well enough when it came to mental health and stigma around mental health? Let me know. I appreciate y'all. Let me leave y'all with this. The truth is, everyone is going to hurt you. You just got to find the ones worth suffering for. Enjoy y'all day. Enjoy y'all week. Stay blessed. It's Mental Health Mondays. Check on yourself mentally. Check on your people. Check on your peers. Check on your coworkers. Check on anybody that you can check on and show that compassion and really be present when you're talking to them. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back again on Friday with Sana I.E.